Welcome back, everyone, as we learn the Mishna Yomis for Simchas Torah. And we're going to finish the 12th parak of Menachos. Wow, that's serious stuff. 12th parak of Menachos. That means that tomorrow we'll be starting the final parak of Menachos. We just started Kachim, and now we're already ready to wrap up both Zvachim and Menachos. I'm telling you, Rabbi Isai, that's called Mishna Yomis power. We are sponsored by the Fisher family, Nishmas Basia Bas Robert, Shlomo ben Avram Alevi, Perel Bas Ruven. We learn Lili Nishmas, David ben Chaim, L'Refu Shalem Fel Yomish ben Chayisor, Yaakov ben Basia Leah, for the Schus of Avram and Yom Benish ben Malki Hudis. We're learning the Schus Yol Klugman and family, and L'Refu Shalem for Esther Fradel Bas Chana, Vigdor Aya ben Rivkin, the Bas Chayisor, Yitzhak ben Siyam ben Dusha, Chana Bas Shoshabina Chayisor, Bas Shoshabina, Rivka Bas Shiraleah, Moshe Meir ben Esther Fradel, and Meir ben Chayisor. They should have a refuah shalema b'seich shachil Yisrael. Now, we know, this is all over Shas we have this, that the maximum you could pledge in one keli of a mincha is 60 isaron. Misnadid od a mincha shel shishim isaron, or maybe b'kli echad. You could bring 60 in one vessel. Im Amar Ari Alai Shishim Be'echad, if he says 61, maybe Shishim B'Kli Echad, he has to bring 60 in one vessel, the Echad B'Kli Echad, and the other one in a separate vessel. Now, we're going to see, we always learn all over Shas that the reason is because you could only mix 60 Yisaron in a keli, 61 Yisaron in a keli, you can't mix it well, so you have to already separate it. However, the Gemara, the Mishnah first gives a very interesting reason, and I said it was very opportune, that finally we learned about Sukkos on the last day of the Yom Tov. We had a teaching about Sukkos. Gemara says, why can't you bring 61 in one keli? Says the Mishnah, Shekain Tzibur, the biggest amount on a day of Israelim that the Tzibur could bring in one day, Shekain Tzibur Mevi B'Yom Tov Arishin Shel Chag Shechal Yos B'Shabbos. If the first day of Sukkot falls out on Shabbos, they bring a total of Shishim Ve'echad, of 61 Isar. So since the biggest amount of the Tzibur is 61, to honor the Tzibur we have that a private person shouldn't bring more than 60. Less than the tzibur one. Now here's the cheshbon. On the first day of Sukkot, we know that every day of Sukkot we bring less parim. On the first day we bring 13 par, 13 bulls. Each bull is 3 isaron, so that's 39 isaron. Then we bring 2 rams. Each ram is 2 isaron. So 39 plus 4 is 43. Then we bring 14 sheep. 14 sheep, each one is an isaron. So we had 43. Now we're adding 14. We have 57. If it's Shabbos, then there's the 2 lambs of the Musaf. So that's another 2. That brings us to 59. And then there's the 2 lambs of the Talmud, which is another 2. That brings us to 61. So the maximum is 61. So therefore, since the tzibur is 61, we say that the yachid shouldn't bring more than 60. However, Reb Shimon doesn't like this. He says, we don't bring them together in one keli. Reb Shimon, some of them are bulls, some of them are lambs. We don't mix those in the same, they're different consistency. They can't be mixed one with another. They're in different kelim. Rather, the reason is a totally different reason. Up to 60, you could mix it in one keli. More than that, you have to take a second keli. So the Gemara says, is that really the cutoff? At 61, you can't mix? Amrulai Shishim Nivlam, 60 could be mixed. Shishim Ve'echad Ein Nivlalim, 61 can't be mixed, such a small difference. Amalahem, so he said, well, Kol Midas Chachamim came. All the measures are that way. Ba'arbam so taivel, 40 so you can immerse. Ba'arbam so chas a kartav is a very little amount. A kartav is a 16th of a lug. It's very little, but if it's missing a 16th of lug, you can't be taivel. Any achalit boban. There was always a cutoff. So the cutoff by the mincha is 60. Now the Mishnah says, "Ein misnagvin like shnayim v'chamisha." If you want to offer a wine donation, it can't be a loig, 2 loig, or 5, because you never have that denomination by the community. Aval misnadvin shloisha v'arba'im v'shisha. You could do 3, 4, or 6, because 3 is a reviya sahin for a keves. 4 is a shlisha sahin la'ayil. Hin is 12. And 6 is a chatzi ahin l'par. So you could bring 3, 4, and 6. Now, once you could bring 3, 4, and 6, you could bring any amount after 6. This is a fascinating mathematical equation that once you have 3, 4, and 6, any number over 6 is a combination of 3, 4, and 6. So, for example, 7 would be 3 and 4. 8 would be 4 and 4. 9 would be 3 and 6. 10 would be 6 and 4. So you always have a combination of these 3 numbers. The next Mishnah. Wow, we're getting our money's worth tonight, Rabbi say. What a way to spend Matzi Simchas Torah. This is the way to spend Matzi Simchas Torah. Misnadvin yayin, you could donate a wine libation, but ve'ein misnadvin shemen, but you cannot donate separately oil. Divrei Rabbi Kiva. Reb Tarfon am a misnadvin shemen. You could donate separately oil. And Reb Tarfon says, I'll tell you why. I'm Reb Tarfon. Wine comes as an obligation. It could come as a donation. It comes as an obligation mixed in the mincha, or banedava, so it can be brought as a donation. It can be brought as a donation alone. But tzibur, it's not brought alone. And since it's not brought alone, it cannot be brought as a donation alone either. Two people cannot be partners to donate a nisaron of a mincha. That's because by mincha it says nefesh. It can only be brought by a single nefesh. But partners could bring a burnt offering or a peace offering, and by a bird offering, they could be a partner even in one lone bird. It doesn't even have to be a kan. It doesn't have to be a set. They could be a partner even in one lone bird. Okay, Rabbi say 4 crown, not a triple crown, a 4 crown tonight, 2 dafim and 2 mishnayos. We're aiming for tomorrow night, Be'ez Hashem, to have a daf and Bereshis gems. That's the aim. Again, I remind you to take a look at the shir I gave for children of all ages. It's on the kids' location. It's called Red Alert, Beware of Chil Hashem. Check out my shir for the Simchas Torah and Shmini Atzeres table. Thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful winter.